What's up, guys? Back on music here. We got Smallville Season 1, Episode 15, Nicodemus. Okay, so, yeah. Let's just get into this episode. I know what you guys are all going to say. Back on me is, are you going to talk about your Patreon? I already talked about it last video. I think, yeah. So, yeah. So, let's get into this episode. Okay, so this episode starts off with a guy raging about wanting to get on the phone with Lex Luthor, want to get on the phone with Lionel Luthor about what he found, and then when they say he's at me, he's like, tell him I want him. I don't care if he's in me. Tell him I want him, and starts breaking his phone. Then we get to see Jonathan. He's listening to Dukes Hazzard's theme song, and which is very Easter egg, because John Tyler, who plays Jonathan Kent, was in the Dukes Hazzard. So I think it's a very good Easter egg. So yeah. But then that ragey guy, he's banging Jonathan, and they end up crashing their cars, and Jonathan saves them. But then he sees his flower he sees as we know, the Nicodemus flower, and it just sprays on him, yeah, so we see the effects of it. He's very like in love. He's very more in love with Martha. When Lex comes over, he tells Lex, he's like, I don't care if your friend Clark, if you listeners were to try and die, I won't care. So, and Clark's like, no, yeah, that's enough. And yeah, and then he gets a call about his bank loan. He's like, if you don't, my bank loan, we're gonna lower down your bank loan. He's like, if you don't up my bank loan, I'm gonna come over there and beat you guys up. So yeah. So as Clark's walking, he sees Jonathan, and Jonathan's ready to shoot. He has a gun, and Clark's like, "Whoa, and he's like, "I've done nothing good for this town, Clark, and they've done nothing but talk bad about me. So now I'm gonna." So he starts shooting. But then he actually shoots Clark. And he's like, Clark, and then there's this all blurry thing, and he just passes out. So yeah. So Chloe and Lana are looking for Nicodemus flower because they want to know what happened to Mr. Kent. Lana gets affected by the Nicodemus, and that causes her to express her feelings for Clark, and Whitney's like, and she's like, hey Whitney, and she's like, hey Whitney, do you want to do something? And he's like, Whitney, I got Lana, I gotta go study. And she's like, ever since your dad got sick, you've been no fun. And he's like, I'm sorry, Lana, I can't help that. And he's like, I always feel like I'm the aggressor. I feel like I'm down in this relationship. And he's like, if that's how you feel, then why don't we end this relationship now? And she's like, it's over, Whitney, and then leave. And then she walks into Clark, and she's like, hey Clark, what are you doing? He's like, studying. And he just looks at Lana. It's just so cringy. It's just so, this episode feels cringy. and so they go into a pool, and she's like, come on, Clark. And he's like, Lana, I don't want to do this, but she's like, come on. So when he jumps in, she gets out, but he gets into Principal Quan, and wow, Lana, it's like Clark's like, it's like everything I wanted to hear from Lana, but it's not right. So yeah. So they discover that Dr. Hamilton is still working with Lex, but and they're like, Lex Luthor discovered the book. So he's like, but Lana, her dream was to climb up about a tower to look at the skies, but she's about to. Yeah, actually, she goes to town and she's like, hey, and she's like, hey, we're closing early, and Lex's like, wait a minute, what? Lana, town doesn't close till 9, and she's like, well, I'm giving you a day off, and she's like, and he's like, and he's like, and she's like, I know, but the bad things, how bad boy you were in Metropolis, and Lex is like, Lana, I wasn't proud of that, and I think you can help. And she's like, wait, what? People expect Lana to be the fairy princess type, and she's like, maybe I don't want to be that person anymore, and just throws something at Lex and steals Lex's car. So that's how we get to the scene where she's getting up to the tower when she, just like Jonathan, had like all the blurry visions, and yeah, now they're both in a coma. So now, yeah, so, and if we can't get a third person to be affected by Nicodemus' flower, well, Pete gets affected, and this makes him want to get revenge on Lex, because Lionel ruined his father's life and took his cream corn factory, so he hates the Luther because he did that to him, and so he says, hey Chloe, I need your keys, and she's like, Pete, we need to get you to the hospital because he's been affected, but he's like, give me your keys, and yeah, and yeah, so there was so his yeah, so tries to shoot Lex, but they accidentally burn the Nicodemus cure book in the fire, and he's like, if you don't let me get that book, Lana and Mr. Kent are gonna die. But he's like, you're just saying that, you don't actually mean it, and starts shooting him. But then Clark's like, Pete, come on, he's like, Clark, he's lying to you. I saw Dr. Hamilton here, and he's like, wait, what? So yeah, and he's like, sorry, Lex, but friendship over. And then he knocks out Pete. So yeah, and he's like, Clark, Clark, what was that? He was like, it was the only way to get him to get him to lose the game. He's like, I thought you were serious about his friendship, and he's like, yeah, so so yeah. So Jonathan ends up waking up from the effects of the Nicodemus. The guy Jason Beals ended up dying. So at least, yeah. And Lana, Jonathan, and Pete, they can't even remember what they did. And Lana's like, whoa, I tried to, and she's like, I tried to apologize to Whitney. I tried to apologize to Whitney, and yeah, and they just look at the skylight where Lana wanted to look, and that's how they said it. Okay, so this episode was very cringy. It may be the cringiest episode of Smallville ever. I know Jonathan, he had things against Luther, and Nicodemus made him express that. Lana, she had feelings for Clark that she was hiding down, and then Nicodemus made her express it. And Pete, he actually said that he had things against the Luthers prior to Nicodemus affecting him, and made him express why he had things against Luther. Yeah. Also, I think it was a cool Easter egg for Jonathan to listen to the good old boy from Dukes of Hazzard. It showed that his actor, Jonathan Steiner, was in. I think it was pretty cool. So, yeah. so yeah. And, yeah. This episode was so cringy. I made my title card my thumbnail might be the cringiest episode of Smallville ever. Yeah. So, yeah. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, go on my Patreon. The link will be down below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you next Smallville.